Overnight, 3 people are displaced after a house fire in East Austin. Fox 7's Nick Spinetto is live at the scene with the latest. Morning, Nick.
Good morning to you, Dave. Yes, a few firefighters remain on scene here. This morning, they're trying to figure out how this fire started. It happened just after 11 o'clock last night in the 1600 block of Clifford Avenue near MLK and Airport. This is a photo of the fire from Fox 7 viewer Austin Little. He describes the first few moments of the blaze as more like an explosion. Immediately afterward, 2 conjoining homes here on Clifford Avenue caught fire. Multiple firefighters rushed to the scene and were able to put out the flames within 10 minutes. Now, the good news is the 3 people home at the time were not injured, but the fire damaged nearly everything inside the 2 homes.
The 2 people that lived in the front structure were already in the process of moving out and they do have a place to stay. The structure in behind that suffered significant damage, the occupant there will be displaced, but she'll be staying with friends.
Now again, still no word on a cause of the fire, and that is what investigators will focus on this morning. Amanda Dave, back to you.
All right, Nick, thank you very much. New this morning, a fire tore through 2 homes in East Austin. Nick Spinetto is live at the scene with the latest. Morning, Nick.
Hi there, Dave. Firefighters remain on scene here. Now, most of the damage done is at the conjoining home in the back. This fire started just after 11 o'clock last night here in the 1600 block of Clifford Avenue near MLK and Airport in East Austin. Now, this is a photo from Fox 7 viewer Austin Little, who describes the first few moments of this blaze as more like an explosion. Now, following the sound, flames were seen shooting from 2 homes here on Clifford Avenue. Multiple firefighters responded to the scene. Fortunately, the 3 people living inside both homes were able to get out and there are no injuries, but the fire did cause damage inside both the homes.
Crews did a great job getting the fire knocked down. Within 10 minutes, they had the fire under control. The fire did cause significant damage to the home in the rear, as well as the covered area that adjoined the 2 structures. The front structure suffered minor damage.
Now, the cause of the fire is still under investigation this morning. We're told the 2 people who live in the first house, they are in the process of moving and have a place to stay. The 3rd person who lives in the second house impacted by this fire, she is staying with friends this morning. Back to you.
All right, Nick, thank you very much.
Investigation police have confirmed 1 person is dead after the car versus train accident. Fox 7's Nick Spinetto joins us from the scene with the latest. Good morning, Nick.
Hi there, Amanda. I did just speak with Round Rock Police, and they have confirmed that 1 person is dead. It all happened here at the South Burnett Railroad crossing just south of downtown earlier this morning. You can see crime scene tape stretched across the railroad tracks. The train at a complete stop at this hour as they continue to investigate a little bit more about what had happened. Now, I did speak with a spokesperson from Union Pacific just a few minutes ago. He tells me that the crew said that they were coming around the bend here, and they saw the driver of the car trying to go around the arm gates, but the train was unable to stop, and that's when the spokesperson says the train hit the car, killing the driver. Now, there's only 1 person in the car at the time of the accident. We understand that it's a male in his 40s, a Hispanic male, and Round Rock Police are underway trying to identify notification of next of kin, and once that is done, they will release the identity of the man. But a lot going on here, a very active scene as they try to figure out what exactly transpired here earlier this morning. Of course, they are trying to get it wrapped up as soon as possible because this train that you see here is backed all the way up to that frontage road, McNeil area, and of course that is a very busy intersection as people try to get on I-35 throughout the morning commute, so they're trying to get this wrapped up as soon as possible so this won't impact the morning commute. Of course, we're going to stay out here and bring you much more information as we get it, but for now, though, that is the very latest here in Round Rock. Amanda Dave, back to you.
Nick Spinetto, we'll check in with you a little later. Thank you, Nick.
Well, Dave and Amanda, brand new at this half hour. The railroad crossing here at South Burnett Street is now back open. Police cleared the scene just a few minutes ago, some 6 hours after first being called here around 2 o'clock this morning when a Union Pacific train hit a car on the tracks, killing the driver. A Union Pacific spokesperson tells Fox 7 the train crew saw the driver of the car trying to go around the arm gates here on South Burnett Street in Round Rock, but the train was unable to stop and hit the vehicle. Now, Round Rock Police estimate the train was going between 40 to 50 miles per hour. The driver did die on scene here. Police are in the process of notifying the man's family before they release any more information about him. All we know at this point is that he is a Hispanic male, a middle-aged Hispanic male. Meantime, the 2 people aboard the Union Pacific train were not injured. The train was coming from Laredo on its way to Chicago. That train left the scene, was clear to leave the scene about 30 minutes ago, back on its destination. We're going to stay on top of this developing story and bring you more information as we get it, though. For now, back to you.
All right, Nick, thank you very much. Spinetto here in studio with some reminders about how to protect yourself from the flu. Nick?
Well, Dave, good morning to you. Since it is peak season, we could see more cases of the flu, especially with school back in session across central Texas. The Austin-Travis County Health and Human Services says this is usually when they see a spike in flu activity. So far this season, 12 people in Travis County, including a child, have died from the flu. Those most at risk are infants, the elderly, and people with weak immune systems. Healthcare workers are urging everyone to get vaccinated.
It is the best defense we have right now. Being immunized is the top way we have of preventing flu.
They can receive Tamiflu, which will help speed the recovery and reduce the symptoms.
And if you don't want to get vaccinated, another way to protect yourself is to simply wash your hands with soap and water or use hand sanitizer. Dave, Lauren, back to you.
I've been doing a lot of that the last couple of days.
That's right. Just a good tip all day, every day for everybody. Nick, thanks.
Nick Spinetto is here in the studio with more about how we can protect ourselves from the virus. Nick?
Well, you know, Lauren, it's never too late to get your flu vaccination. In fact, health professionals say it's the first line of defense. The flu often starts in your head.
Fever,
Working its way down, you get those awful chills.
body aches.
Factor in the coughing, nausea. Face it, you're down for the count.
If they have body aches and fever, they should stay home from work and stay home from school.
With the holiday break over, school is back in session at UT and other classrooms across central Texas. Austin-Travis County Health and Human Services says this is when they often see a spike in flu activity.
When the school season starts again in January, we do tend to see a slight uptick in the number of cases.
Also, January and February are considered the peak of flu season, which is why the health department says get your flu shot.
It is the best defense we have right now. Being immunized is the top way we have of preventing flu.
According to the CDC, flu cases across the country are on the rise. The agency says it's an epidemic. By January 17th, much of the country had what the CDC calls widespread flu cases. And Texans aren't immune. A number of cases have been reported, some fatal. Here in Travis County, the latest flu report from January 20th states 12 people have died, including a child. The ages of the other 11 people varied, with the majority being older than 60. In Williamson County, people have been diagnosed with the flu, but there haven't been any deaths. The health department says those most at risk of catching the flu are infants, the elderly, and people with weak immune systems.
Look away, we have to. Deep breath.
Infants younger than 6 months can't get vaccinated, so health professionals encourage everyone who is around the infant and old enough to get vaccinated instead. With a quick shot,
That's it. You're all done.
or spray from nasal mist, you're done.
Get immunized as soon as possible.
Okay, so the best ways to avoid getting sick is get your flu shot. If you don't want to get vaccinated, you can wash your hands often, use hand sanitizer, cover your mouth when sneezing or coughing, and if you're sick, stay home, like Lauren did earlier this week. Important reminders to keep you and your family safe this flu season. Dave, back to you.
Nick, thanks. Made her start coughing again over here.